Well, hello, folks. It's Shooter. Hey, we're going to go over the Magnificent Seven, a little more detail. I'm going to suggest you get a pen and paper out, make some notes, on some figures I'm going to give you. At the end of this presentation, do please review our disclosure. Okay, so what I've decided to do is I want to look at the bigger picture to give a visual of where we are. Now, I'd like to note what RSI is doing. We're squeezing to the upside. All right, now there's going to be a number of charts that we have that visually, and then we'll notice on some of them where we're not squeezing. So this is indicative of an uptrend when you look on the larger time frames. So I would suspect that this continues as long as we are in that uptrend. It might actually break when we get up to our wave 5. But right now, our target 1 is a primary wave 2 at 152.46. And then we head into wave 3, which is our longest wave typically. So there would be a very good, a strong likelihood that it would extend. Now, our first trend support is at 126.10. We're at 172.21 as I'm doing this. We got a long way down here on Apple. Unfortunately, I think it manifests. So regardless of what the markets did yesterday, I don't see any reason why this count will change. And I just wanted to focus on that. Now, if that trend support does not hold and we end up in more of a bear market, which honestly I think Apple needs to get in more of a bear market for the indices to become in more of a bear market. That's just my thought pattern. But we also have another trend support channel, which brings us down to about 84.40. So now I don't believe that that's, I don't have confirmation that's going to occur. We would need to break trend support. Honestly, this would basically become a leading diagonal for that to occur. I mean, but it's a viable outcome when you're looking at the count. All right, now looking at Nvidia, similar look in RSI, keeping that in mind. So, you can actually go into RSI and draw this same trend line yourself. Now in Motive Wave, you can actually create an alert on that. So you'll know if it crosses that line. So in other words, if it becomes an outlier or it's breaking the trend, or we got, obviously if it breaks the speed line to the upside, I mean, we have a huge breakout for that to occur. But the same thing applies to the speed line on the lower side. You can also create alert there as well to do that. And by the way, if you are going to try Motive Wave, ask me for the link. So, I mean, it's only a couple bucks, but the referral fee does help over time. So, all right, now our next count, which is, I'm going to step down on Nvidia to the weekly to get more of a visual on this, because we are going to put in this 2, so we do have little downside off of this 1, not much lower than where we are, but, looking at the overall picture. Now, our trend line is at 147.36. So, I mean, we've tagged it once on this last low. So, I mean, right now it's held up well. However, on this primary wave 1, we will break below that trend down to maybe 444.83. So right now, the count that we're looking for in Nvidia, our 409.80 is in. So we're now looking for that 2 at 501.49. Now, we also have one other trend support, which is way the heck down here at 40.95. I had to go with that. So let's look at Microsoft. Now, right now, we're still looking for some significant downside. We're not even 50% done, looking for maybe 272 from where we are. Then we start wave 3 up to maybe 383. Now, our trend support is at 374, so it breaks below that, which it looks like it's going to. Then our next trend support channel is 238.43. So we do have, some significant downside here. Now notice that we have no squeezing in the RSI. If anything, we're broadening. Now we sort of have this internal speed line in RSI here in Microsoft, which is why I'm spending a second on it. Notice when we broke below it, we put in our low. We broke below it, we put in our low. So, I would say that's pretty indicative of how, that'll trend in the future, just that look. However, we are squeezing on the larger time frame through this entire leg. So let me point that out, not aggressively, but I would suspect that we would maintain this. And I'm looking at this as ultimately being our channel. But we do like on Microsoft to really have these flushes in RSI, which is good because you really know where your confirmed low or your divergent low is. Notice how our wick on the monthly chart here, we had one, not a confirmed low because this is our confirmed low. Lower low in price, lower low in RSI. So this is our confirmed low. This is some type of divergence is occurring here on this particular leg. But that's sort of the look of Microsoft. So significant downside. Nvidia, at trend support, Apple, significant downside. Just sort of, I don't know if you're seeing the MO here at this point. Now, Meta is a completely different ballgame, and I had to show this because our wave C is so far out here at 454. We're at 305, so we got quite a ways to the upside. We could trek here, and just moving down a little bit to take a look at this. Our target one is 286.79. So we've put in the intermediate wave 1, and we're going to put in an intermediate wave 2 around 286. And then we enter into wave 3, where we should get up to around 349. Now, trend support, we've just tagged it once at 263.52. And then our next trend support is really an internal trend line, which comes in around 163.53, because I'm really looking at this as an overshoot. 1, 2, 3, third tag. What can we do? We can always overshoot. And then we actually have one more trend channel, which comes off of here down at 140.70. Now, this is a very broad pattern. And looking at this in the RSI, the difficulty with this look is we have two different regimes as far as RSI structure that we have here. So we had this squeeze that occurred until we broke down. So it got really tight. So this is really an outlier event. So now that we're back into this, I would suspect, or I would hope, that to some degree, maybe we put in a 55 or 60 RSI, and that holds to the upside, and we get a new squeeze channel there. But it's a little dirtier than some of the other RSI looks that we have there. It's not as clean visually, if you know what I mean by that. Okay, looking at Amazon, looking for maybe 120.98, and then we head towards wave 2 around 151. Here again, now this is a broadening RSI pattern. So, as we were heading in here, it's telling us that we're no longer in that uptrend. We're getting towards the top. So that's where we want to, really watch where our RSI is. And it really came out here on this confirmed high. And then we got this divergent high afterwards. So that was drive 2. So we really had, a 3 drive here, which, gives us the potential for 100% retrace, which we actually got here, as far as Amazon is concerned. So drive 1, drive 2. Now, I always measure equality, but in this market, we tend to be a little shallow on that. So, this potentially, and what I see here in Amazon, which is a little different from the rest of the charts, is that this could be, I really see the potential for an ABC pattern here. So this to me, has the, very strong likelihood. So, I'm just moving this over there for a second so you can visually see. So that would occur somewhere around 149 if that did occur. But that's just the visual of what an ABC might look like here. Now, bringing our trend support is really down around 105.89. We're well above that, so we got quite a little bit of room in Amazon to the upside there for this to hold the uptrend. So it looks in good shape there. Then our next trend support is around 76.49. And I will go back and review those trend support levels just real quick. So get your pen ready after I finish Tesla and Google. All right, so looking at Tesla, I think our bottom's in our intermediate wave 2. We're heading for intermediate wave 3 around 342. Now, here again, I'm going to go and bring in trend support. So, our difficulty here is it's way the heck down here. I mean, it really is. Based on where we are in the tape, 57.66 is what it's showing me now. I don't think we get down. Now, we put in a higher RSI. Looks like higher RSI. Looks like we're creating this band here in structure. And what are we doing? We're squeezing to the upside, which is one reason I like the chart. This is actually one of my favored charts right now, just because of that look. Now, our trend support below that is way the heck down at 28. So, and realize this is a larger ABC pattern, which tends to be challenging to the upside because you sometimes get flats here. So it's a little moody. So the stop that I put, and I believe my stop was at 241 and some change. Okay, so this is what I would use as my stop. And the reason is it's the base of the band. It wasn't the flush, because we get below that, that's where we flush. So, I would use that 241.90 as my stop on Tesla. We get below that, then that 230 count that we had, which I consider to be a ghost print, 230.64 was that number. So I would consider that to be our number here. Now looking at Google, right now we're looking for our 139.39 and then wave 2 for 136.47. So it's a fairly tight range. Now I'm going to jump down to the weekly to give you a visual here. That is wave 3 and 4 of the intermediate wave. So Then we're going to move up to wave 3 and then move down to wave 4. So it becomes a little broader. So, once we, get that top in around 141, that would be a good spot to sell some covered calls. Now, bringing back in our trend support is roughly 67.68, which is way the heck down for Google. Then our trend support below that is 94.43. So, at this point, all of our fangs are in a larger uptrend that hasn't been broken. The difficulty that we have now is that we've started to see them shake a little bit, but that confidence in their capability of maintaining earnings, especially with Apple, and then Nvidia potentially peaking with some kind of AI peak in chips. We did have, 6 months of ordering coming out of China based on the 100 nano chips, I believe they are. And, that is going to wane once those bans come in. So, all right, let me just run back from Apple. So first trend support is 140.82. Target 1 is 152.46. Target 2 is 213.09. Nvidia trend support is 401.42. Target 1 is 409.80, which is in. Target 2 is 501.49. Trend support for Microsoft is 374. Target 1 is 272.01. Target 2 is 383.37. Now, as far as meat is concerned, trend support is 263.52. Target 1 is 286.79. Target 2 is 349.07. Trend support for Amazon is 105.68. Target 1 is 120.98. And target 2 is 151.63. Tesla trend support is 221.87. I'd use a stop of 241.90 here. Target 1 is 342.37. Now, Google trend support is 67.68, which is way the heck down there. Target 1 is 139.39. Target 2 is 136.47. That's pretty much what I have as far as going through the Magnificent Seven, folks. Great trading. Until next time.